So just this one channel in the last 3 years from 2021 all the way to 2023 has done about $273,000 in sales. Now, I just want to let you guys know I'm not here to sell you a course. I don't really care about anything like that. This is really just me giving you solid advice on how I've done what I've done at such a young age, how I've made millions on social media. If we head over to Snapchat, which is another platform, you guys may have heard a lot of big creators talking about it, Daniel Baton, all these other really, really big gurus that talk about Snapchat. It's honestly nothing compared to YouTube. I really have to emphasize that. So I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to turn YouTube into a full-time job and the entire gatekept strategy and kind of what people don't want to tell you because they want all the revenue to themselves, or these gurus just don't really know what they're talking about. So I'm not a guru. I'm just here to give you the source. Now, starting off with, I really need to emphasize this because I know a lot of you guys are going to click off. Commit to a niche. Now, this is arguably the most important part of YouTube automation and kind of any type of online venture that you're doing as a whole. And once again, I just want to give you guys a source. I know only about 1% of you guys are actually going to see this, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not editing this content. I want this to be pure, raw, just footage of exactly how you can do what I've done and exactly how to implement and kind of structure what I've done. So commit to a niche. When you're starting, and I see a lot of people doing this, they'll choose something that is just so big scope. Like, for example, if we head over to Fern, who's a massive content creator doing these videos, it's like the world's biggest artillery gun, the genius design of narco submarines. Right, these guys are making millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, but realistically, your content is not going to be anywhere near as good as theirs just because their quality, the edits, the 3D animations, everything like that, these guys are doing millions. You're not going to be anywhere even remotely close to this for the initial investment that you guys are willing to put up. And that's just because you don't have the experience. Now, what I really tell people is find a niche that you can feasibly get into. Your only expense is really editing at the moment, editing and thumbnail design if you're doing long form. If you're doing short form, realistically, your only expense is just editing. And that's why you really want to choose a niche that has scalability, has proof of concept, but doesn't necessarily have such big competition and someone that's just a massive Goliath in the niche. In the niche, sorry. We have this guy called Zach D Films. I know a lot of you guys, if you have watched Daniel's video, this guy Zach D Films, who does these shorts where he basically does like these animations, like what if, can ashes make a diamond, how to survive an abduction. This content is great, right? But this guy is a conglomerate. He owns the entire industry. For the same reason you wouldn't try and do a McDonald's ripoff, because McDonald's is just such a king. This guy is just such a king. And I know Daniel Baton and all those guys tried to make channels. There's a reason why they flop and they make no money. Because they have an unrealistic expectation that they're going to be able to break into a niche that is seriously just not easy to break into. You want to choose a niche that has potential, like for example, the Amagi. This is an anime channel that basically, these guys are one of the biggest in the niche, and they're doing about $60,000 to $70,000 profit every single month, and that's extremely long term. Their RPM is about $10 to $20, just because a lot of their videos are quite long. We have an hour, we have 7.5 hours here. Obviously, the RPM, which is how much you're paid per 1,000 views, dramatically increases given the length of the video. So if you have a video that's about, an hour long and you have it in a decent niche, let's say your RPM on an 8-minute video was about $4. If it was an hour, it would be upwards of $10. So it kind of goes to show the scalability of making long form content. But I know a lot of you guys don't have the capital to do long form. So shorts are also a very good strategy for people that just want to break into the industry. Now, don't mitigate between short and long form. Stick to one. I have been emphasizing this for ages. It is so easy to make $10,000 a month. It is like quite literally never been easier. I have a public Discord server if you guys want to join it, discord.gg/1%, where we essentially, everyone is in there. We all share results, stuff like that. So if you do need help picking a niche or anything like that, go ahead and ask in there. If you have a channel that's not performing well, go ahead and share it in the channels and we'll give you some advice. But don't mitigate between short and long form. Stick to one. What that means is essentially, if you guys are going to do a long form channel like this, don't try and mitigate shorts into it. There is a new thing that YouTube released, which is 3-minute shorts, which honestly, I see a lot of potential with 3-minute shorts. I think that you can grow an audience a lot better for long form. So as you guys know, when it comes to like 60-second shorts, if you grow a fan base off of that, more than likely those people that subscribed from 60-second shorts are not going to go ahead and watch your long form. But the fact that they've added 3-minute shorts makes it exponentially more likely that the people that subscribed from those 3-minute shorts are going to watch your long form. So definitely look into that. I think that has a lot of potential and scalability given the, the market. No one really takes advantage of those just yet. So you guys could definitely be one of the first to kind of take, advantage of that. Obviously with Snapchat, which was my primary business about last year, 2 years ago, I made millions of this. upwards of 2 million. And if you guys don't already know, Snapchat, the way it works is it's 3-minute content. So I think YouTube is trying to take the same route that Snapchat has taken, where it's really short form content, but really transformative and honestly just a really high RPM. Imagine if in the future, YouTube changes their shorts RPM, which is already quite good, like 25 cents. Imagine they somehow find a way to integrate a mid-roll or even an outro, an ad, and that gets bumped up to about $1. Like, these are my videos on Snapchat.
There's a new TikToker that is being called the second baby alien that is...
So it's literally just pure brain rot. But this show here specifically has made, if we go to the last 3 months, I don't really run it much anymore. We don't do much, but it's made $83,000 in the last 3 months. And just a little FYI, we have 9, 10 of these shows. I have so many. And that is kind of why I'm pushing so hard for YouTube right now. I'm telling you, if you have not started, watch this video, join my public Discord server, try and really network with people that are already doing this and just start. It's the most important thing. Start. Don't give up. Don't do one episode, realize, oh my God, I got 0 views. Okay, I'm done. Screw this. It doesn't work. It's bullshit. These guys are all gurus. None of this works. It does work, and it is ridiculously easy. Now, as I said, don't alternate between short and long form. Stick to one. If you're going to do long form on one channel, do short form on a different channel. Don't integrate. Don't mix and match. Have one set niche on each channel. Don't keep mix and matching. Next thing, choose a niche with both longevity and POC. POC means proof of concept. You don't want to go ahead and be the first person to invent a new niche. For example, this content here, what if Akashi went rogue? It's literally just Naruto theories. And, looking at it at face value, you might be like, wow, these guys aren't even making much money. They are making hundreds of thousands a year, upwards of $500,000 a year, pure profit that will never ever change. And that's because they found a niche that has longevity, which is Naruto. Anime has a lot of longevity. There's so many diehard anime fans, so many religious people that love religion, so you can definitely leverage that to get more views as well. There's a lot of religion niches that are exploding at the moment, but choose a niche that has longevity and proof of concept. This niche right here is a perfect candidate of something you guys could start tomorrow. These, since they are just literally theories, AI can do this entire process for you. Give it one of their scripts, give it a perfect prompt. Be like, make the pacing great. Copy this exact formula. Give them the exact script. Give them a new video idea, and it will do your entire thing for you. And then your only expense is editing cost and thumbnail design. These thumbnails are literally just AI, and the edits are just $20 edits off Creative Paradise, Fiverr, Upwork, anything like that. It is ludicrously easy. You would automate this content and you would get, monetized within the first month. This type of content is so easy to go viral with. I mean, these ideas are just great. What if Itachi raced Naruto? And the reason why these are so good is because ChatGPT has become so much better at script writing now, rather than, even just researching. There's not really much research needed for this, seeing as they're completely just canon material made from their mind. It's basically the same as making your own story. So AI would be really great to do that. What I mean by proof of concept is finding a niche that you are not the first person to do. I see this mistake all the time. People are like, I want to be the first one. I have a really good idea. I'm so motivated for this. Let's get into it. They choose a niche that realistically they don't have a single chance in hell going viral in. I mean, look at this channel, Animated Courtroom. This is a prime example of an amazing niche to start. I mean, look at this. They're doing if all DreamWorks heroes were charged for their crimes. It's essentially like animated characters like Avatar, Aang, SpongeBob, a bunch of TV shows where they're basically just saying if they were charged for their crimes. These videos are so easy to make, and this guy's making $10,000, $12,000, $20,000 every single month off of purely just this content. And it is, I'm telling you now, this channel is so easy to replicate. It is absolutely disgusting. You would just find new movies that are coming out in the cinemas. For example, Moana 2 would have been a great thing to emphasize on, which I'm sure they actually did if we scroll down. Yep, if Moana 2 characters were charged for their crimes, you just find new shows that are releasing, or even old shows that have dedicated fan bases, whether it's Rick and Morty, Regular Show, Adventure Time, so many different shows, and this just scales everywhere. Choose something with proof of concept. These guys have been doing it for a year, and they've yet to die. This is the exact example of a niche that you could take over. It doesn't have some big Goliath who owns the entire fandom. This guy is relatively small, still doing about $20,000 a month. But if you came in and look at his thumbnails, they're horrible. You do better thumbnails, do better editing, and you could easily take over in this niche and make way more than he is. Now, the next thing that I really want to emphasize is don't quit after 7 flops. This is the biggest killer when it comes to short form creation and even long form. People will make content, obviously, start a new channel. They're really motivated and they'll post, whether it's 2 long form videos, 6 short form videos. They'll be like, why am I getting 0 views? What am I doing wrong? Oh my God, it never works. I'm so unlucky. And then they'll just give up. And that is literally the biggest killer. Do you think that any of these people who initially started got any traction on their first videos? No, they didn't. They got 0 views. Same thing happened to me. I used to be a massive practitioner of this. I would just keep giving up on niches when I first begun like 4 years ago. And that's just because you lose motivation very, very quickly. You need to, in your mind, know that it's going to blow up regardless, and who cares if it blows up now or if it blows up in a month. That month worth of revenue isn't going to change my life if it ends up lasting for 2 years. Commit to a niche. Do not give up just because you have a few flops. That is probably the biggest killer that I've noticed people just that join my mentorship. Even I have a one-on-one mentorship where we work directly with clients. That's blakeryan.co. For that specifically, a lot of my clients, when they work in it, they'll just give up instantly. And I really have to emphasize and kind of tell them and drill it into their brains that you will not blow up after your first video. If you do, it is very lucky, and it more than likely won't happen again. So regardless, continue posting, never give up, and just keep going. That's the biggest killer. Even in short specifically, you can get stuck in 0 view jail and 15K view jail. 0 view jail is a bit harder to get out of because it's more so just an issue on your end that you've done wrong, whether you didn't use an aged channel, you didn't use a brand new number to verify the channel, and just stuff like that. So 15K view jail, you just have to post and improve your content and you will eventually escape it. It's as simple as that. Your videos, if you're stuck in 15K view jail, you need to improve your swipe rate and you need to improve your AVD. Obviously, forget this if you're doing long form. This is purely for short form, the 15K view jail and all that. But the next thing I want to talk about is RPM optimization. Now, of course, this varies for whether you're doing short form or long form content. If you're doing short form content, you want to ensure that you have a first world demographic. I've gone into depth on this a lot. We don't want Indians. We don't want Filipinos. We don't want anybody like that. We want US, UK, Australia, London, Sweden, all these countries that are very high paying, meaning advertisers are willing to dish out a lot of money to buy ads on that content. That's kind of the area we really, really want to target. But the ways to do that is obviously having voiceover content where if you're doing shorts, and this, by the way, it works for both things. You want to have this on short form and long form. If you're doing long form, you really do want to have a US demographic as well. It's just going to make your revenue that much higher. Same with short form. For short form specifically, we want to make sure we're having voiceover content where it's actually voiceovered with whether it's with 11 Labs, whatever you want to use. Make sure we are having some sort of repurposed and reused content where it's our voice emphasizing things, whether it's narration, whether it's voice acting, whether it's story times, whatever it is. That's going to drastically increase our demographic. For example, if we have an Indian person or someone that doesn't speak English, they're much less likely to watch a video that is pure English. That way they're going to swipe off and YouTube would be like, hold on a minute, this country doesn't like your content. Let's stop recommending it to them. Let's start recommending it to people that do like it, which would obviously be first worlders. Now, that's going to increase your RPM. Let's say you had a 5 cent RPM on shorts. That's because you have a horrible US demographic. That's the only explanation. 5 cent RPM would mean you're getting paid you're getting paid 5 cents for every 1,000 views, which is absolutely horrible. That's what it used to be with the shorts bonus. Now, if you have a good US demographic, you can get that up to about 25, even a 30 cent RPM per 1,000 views, which is absolutely phenomenal. And then when you consider the fact that you can also get a music deal, which, I mean, a lot of you guys know what music deals are. On this channel specifically, we made about $273,000 just in the last 2 years, from 2023 January to 2021 August. About, 273,000. Obviously, this Snapchat show, if we go way back to like January 2024 to like November 2023, we did just on this one show $190,000. That just goes to show you really want to make sure we're targeting those first world countries. Another few ways you can up your RPM would be placing ads. Now, I have a Chrome extension. It's not mine. This isn't sponsored whatsoever, but it is on the Chrome section. If you go to like the extensions tab, it's called YouTube Ad Placer. Now, what it is once you press it, it will say like YouTube Ad Placer 30 seconds. So you want to place an ad. This is only if you're doing long form. You want to place an ad. It doesn't matter how long your video is. In the ad placer, place an ad every 30 seconds. Now, what that will do is, no, it won't place an ad every 30 seconds, but it's going to place an ad as many times as it possibly can. YouTube will then funnel out all the ones where it wouldn't have posted and essentially just allow it to be posted in those sections. It's a very good tool, and if you had, let's say, a $5 RPM on long form and you weren't doing this and then you implemented it, your RPM would spike from whether it was $5 all the way up to like $8. Now, I know it doesn't sound like much, but I mean, it might. Like $8 from $5 is quite a bit of a jump, but consider this mixed in with the US demographic strategy, mixed in with also if you go to the settings and you disable alcohol and gambling sponsorships, your RPM will increase as well. Just with those two simplistic changes, we've gone ahead and upped our RPM from $5 to $10. If we were doing 1 million views a month and we were making 5K, now we're making $10,000 a month. it is ridiculously easy to optimize little gatekept strategies that nobody ever talks about really when it comes to YouTube automation. These are true little things that nobody ever speaks about. Like this animated courtroom channel, I am probably quite certain that these guys aren't using any of these strategies we've spoke about in today's video. These guys don't even voice over the content. There is like no talking. Listen to this. It's just the videos with tiny parts of like sentences, like writing and sound effects. It is disgusting. If they added voiceovers to this content, did those few little RPM changes, they would be doing, like right now, they're doing about, I think, 1.5 million views a month. So if you go to their view stats, they're doing 2.5 million views a month. Sorry, my bad. Their RPM's probably about $7. They're doing about $17,000 a month. If they implemented those changes we spoke about, they could easily be doing upwards of 30K a month. It is that ridiculously easy, and I really need to emphasize that. Now, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you do want to join my Discord, once again, discord.gg/1%. It'll be linked in the description below. We talk about everything, we network, everything like that. If you are a high-ticket customer and you really want to grow and make YouTube your full-time job and you have some income to really put into it, check out my mentorship. I won't be able to accept everyone, but it should be really interesting to see. If you guys do want to work with me, that's blakeryan.co. But yes, guys, I will see you all later. Thank you so much for watching, and best of luck on your journey.